Well, hello. Good evening. Good afternoon. Happy Monday. What's up, Facebook? This is your girl, T. Renee, and we are here at day 19 of my 30-day Facebook Live challenge. Now, I have a bone to pick with y'all. Instead of a fun fact today, I'm going to tell y'all how I'm mad at y'all. Now, everybody that's on my page knows how much I love that song, Intentional. So every time I hear the song is because I'm listening to Mali Music Pandora station, right, on Pandora. So I just assumed that the song was by him because it sounds like him, and so I was posting like crazy every time I hear that song that I'm listening to Mali Music singing Intentional. And that is not his song. That is by Travis Green. Okay, so I'm mad at y'all for not telling me, for not correcting me, and saying that I was giving credit to the wrong artist. However, I still love the song, even though it's by Travis Green and not Mali Music, but I'm mad at y'all. So get it together. Y'all got to keep me in line just like I'm keeping y'all in line, okay? Hey, Keita Boo, are you done writing? Because Sunday was supposed to be the day, and I haven't heard anything from you, ma'am. I did see that you posted that you were sick, so I hope you are taking care of yourself so that you can't be sick anymore. Today, we are going to be talking about not being alone and why it's not fun being alone. And I got this topic because, hey, Auntie Val. So I was listening, of course, to Mali Music this morning, and I was for certain that this was his song because I looked at the Pandora when it came on because the words stuck out to me. So I'm going to read just a portion of the chorus, and the lyrics, and then the chorus, so that way you guys will know why the song struck out to me. So it says, people often try to make it seem that their success is individual, but what's the point in having dreams if you got to celebrate all alone? And then the chorus says, it gets cold at the top, make sure somebody loves you, you can feel alone in the spotlight, make sure somebody cares for you, always be there for you, it's no fun alone. So I thought about that as the song was playing in my head, and it came to me how, nowadays everybody is acting like Roscoe Jenkins and the Team of Me, and I can't trust nobody, and it's just me by myself, and what y'all be saying, my team or my crew, my circle is small, and all this stuff, and you guys are satisfied with being alone, and you're satisfied with going at life's struggles and celebrating life's successes alone. And you wonder then on the flip why you are always complaining about not having support. Well, because that's the type of energy that you're putting out there. You're telling people that you're okay with being alone, that because you can't trust nobody. But why can't you trust people? Like, I don't understand why you all have this, thousands of people in your life that you can't trust. Like, I just don't understand. There's no way that I could imagine my life being alone. Now, I come from a big family, so, in some regards, I don't necessarily have a choice because there's so many of us. However, even if I was an only child, I couldn't imagine being alone 24/7. Like, even when I watch movies and you see that one character who dies in the movie and it's like nobody but maybe one person at their funeral, like, to me that's heartbreaking because it doesn't necessarily mean that person is a bad person, but what does it say about them not wanting to have at least one or two or three other people in their lives that they can count on and that can be there to support them and be there to, mourn them. I just don't see why you guys are comfortable with that and why you're comfortable with taking on, all of these tasks by yourself. There's nothing more beautiful than seeing people working together and becoming successful together. I was thinking about one of my mentors, or my imaginary mentors. I don't know him personally, but Damon John. I was listening to one of his live videos this morning, and he was talking about how when him and his friends started FUBU, and he was saying how, it was the group of them, and they did everything together, and they did all of this philanthropic work that they weren't bragging about, because he said he didn't want people to think that he was garnering his success on the backs of the less fortunate. So they did a lot of things in silent, but they did them together. So they went together and they built all of these basketball courts and, helped build community centers and all these different things in their neighborhood to help, their communities, but they did it together. He didn't do it by himself. And even now, as he's successful, he still doesn't do business alone, because now he invests in other companies and he helps smaller companies make their businesses grow and get them to a level of $1 million success. So now they don't have to do it alone. They get the extra help, from somebody, who's been there. So just imagine if you took that time and said, okay, who can I partner with, or who can I entrust my idea with? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people who are shady, or, you cannot allow everybody into your circle, but you shouldn't be alone is what I'm saying. So there should be somebody who has the same mindset as you, or who is, has the same, maybe similar business idea as you, where you guys can put your heads together and trust each other and work the business, and so that you both become successful at the same time. And now there's two families being fed instead of just one. And then you continue to, spread that abroad. And I think, it's really sad that we as a people, and I'm talking about Black people now, that this is our general consensus, that we don't trust each other, that we don't want to do business because we're afraid that somebody is going to get over on us. We don't want to share housing together because, no, I can't live with them and I can't live with them. It's like, but all of these other nationalities and races of people do it, whether it be, they start out because of impoverished reasons or not, they still do it. I remember when I was 19 and I worked at First Nationwide Bank is what it was called then. I don't know what it is now, but I worked there, and there was a family, an Asian family that used to bank at the bank all the time. And they used to come in there, and it was about 12 people on this one bank account. So there was the grown-ups and then the college age students. And I believe there were even some smaller children whose names were on the account. Everybody, when they got paid from either their financial aid, from their jobs, or from whatever little business that they had, they all came and they put all of the money into this one account. And so one day I asked one of the men, I'm like, what do you guys do? How do you guys do this where everybody's money goes into one account? Like, how does it, how is it made fair to all the families, since everybody makes different amounts? And he said to me that we don't look at how much each person makes. To us, everything that comes into the house is for the whole family. And so we take all the money, we put it all together, we pay our bills, we get groceries, all of the kids, if they don't have financial aid, then their college is paid for from this account. He said, and then what we do is we take the oldest family first. So let's say for me, since I'm the oldest child, then my family would get bought a house first. And so then me and my children would move out of the communal home and into my house. And then everybody, I still help the family just because I have my own house. I still help, and I give not all of my money now because I have my own mortgage, but I still help and I give money back into the pot. So then the next child in line can then get their own house. And he said that we do that until all of the children, the adult children, or the adults rather, have their own house. And then each kid that's in college, we buy them a car, or they may share a car if they're all going to the same school. He said, but we constantly keep money in that account together, so that way if there's ever an issue, we have money to help each other. And then we take care of our elderly. So if there's a grandmother or grandfather in the home, then they go to one of the older adults, and that family takes care of them, mainly because they're in the home, but then everybody else comes and they pitch in. And I said, that's really sad that we can't do that, because if we did, we would be a much better off. We complain about seeing all of these other businesses in our neighborhood, and we complain about this one getting that and that one getting that. But what are we doing? We're steady fighting each other over nonsense. Just like today on the bus, the kids they got into a disagreement over something that was so trivial. And I told them, I'm like, you guys are arguing over what? What is the point in this? I'm like, so she didn't answer you the right way. You don't need to carry that burden. You about to fight and mess up with school and the fact that you have a child, so you shouldn't be trying to fight nobody anyway, because you're doing this so you can take care of your son. It's like and all they kept talking about was, well, she disrespect me. She disrespect me. I'm like, y'all don't even know what respect mean. How can you say that somebody's disrespecting you and you don't even know the definition of the word? You so busy fighting and pushing each other away, when we should be trying to build and help each other, because it is not fun being alone. It is not fun. It's not fun to get to the top and you look around and you don't know or recognize any of the faces in the room staring at you when you're getting that award or you're getting that accolade. Why? Because you have, chosen to not build any formidable relationships and not build any, joint ventures with anyone so that you can have some help. You just said, nope, I'm gonna do this by myself because I can't trust nobody, and they out to get me and they want my money, and she gonna backstab me and he gonna dog me out. So now you standing up there and you looking out and you don't even have anyone to really thank. Okay, I thank myself because I did this. But what about having the joy of seeing your family sit out there in the audience smiling and crying because you have achieved something that they too were a part of? So I think that we need to revisit this as a people. We need to revisit it, because it's really sad that this is the general idea that the younger generation, they really have it bad. Now, I know there's some of my peers, and we are all, helping each other, and we are doing joint ventures, and, because we get it now. We're tired of seeing other people, have this level of success collectively that we are not having collectively. And so there is a movement going on, but it's not enough. It's not big enough. And it takes us as the older generation to help those that are underneath us understand why it's so important for us to work together versus us working alone, and why it's important to develop trust with each other and teach them how to trust and teach them what respect is and teach them what building together, how much more beneficial that is than you sitting there trying to go at it by yourself and go at it alone. Just like the song says, like, it's cold at the top. So, you know, you need to make sure that you have somebody there that's going to love you, and that you're going to have somebody there that's going to care for you and is going to be concerned with you, and making sure that, you know, you are staying on track, and that you're not making, you know, any bad mistakes or making any wrong choices. Like, we can try and convince ourselves all day that, you know, I know what I'm doing and I can figure it out by myself, and I'm guilty. So I can say that, because a lot of times I'm like, oh no, I can figure this out on my own. But I feel so much better when I can go to a friend and say, hey, do you know how to do XYZ? I need some help with this. And then they have the answer, or they can direct me to someone who does have the answer. And then I'm able to get it done with a little more ease than me sitting up for 5 hours on YouTube or Google trying to figure it out myself. So I'm I'm talking to just us, and I mean in skin looking just like me, or darker than me, or a little lighter than me. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm urging us to come together, and let's not do these things alone. There's so many opportunities now, and with the negative things that we're facing as far as police brutality and, you know, Trump possibly becoming into office and all these different things, we really need to bind together at this time and join forces and, you know, develop businesses and things that our kids will have once we leave, because at the rate that is going now, I'm just not so sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen. And, you know, these companies are closing at a fast rate. They're shutting down. People are losing jobs without a backup plan, and without the notion that, hey, okay, I have a family member that I can go stay with, or we can all pull our money together and do the same thing that these other people are doing and help one another get a house or get whatever it is that we need to do. Now, I've done it before. Me and my siblings, we did it. We rented a house together and we split the rent. We had a 7-bedroom house. The rent was $1,900 a month. Between all of us, we only had to pay $400. It was like $400 and something a month, and then utilities. And so it still was not, you know, a lot. I think the end result was maybe about $550, something like that. And then, you know, we had groceries covered for the most part, but they pitched in, even though I was getting food stamps, but we did it. And, you know, I left first because I got the opportunity to do a rent to own. And so, and then they stayed until things changed within their lives, but it was a good thing. And we were able to help each other, and everybody was able to, you know, kind of figure some things out and have some extra money to do some other things with, because we decided that we were tired of all of us. We all living in the same city, and everybody trying to get their own apartment and paying $700 to $800 to $900 a month in rent, plus utilities, plus food. Why not come together? And we came together, and it worked. And I hated that we didn't stay longer, because I think if we would have stayed in that situation longer, that it would have helped us even more. But I'm telling you, it can be done. But everybody has to come in with the right mindset, and everybody has to come with the idea that I'm not just helping Jasmine, you know what I'm saying? I'm helping myself at the same time, and she's helping me, and then we're helping Crystal, and we're helping Jeremy. So it's like we're all helping each other, and it wasn't a selfish thing. And, you know, we had it all laid out. We had contracts. I mean, hey, sometimes you got to do that, right? We had a contract on what chores was going to be done. And since I was the only one with children, we had rules as far as, you know, how company was going to be handled, you know, if the kids were there. Like, so you have to talk about those things. You have to have open dialogue, and then it can be done, you know. But now, I don't know. Everybody is so one-sided or angry, and you know, you feel like you can't do it, but I'm telling you, it can be done if you guys sit down and really talk about it, and, you know, write down, like we had everything written down to the letter of what could possibly happen and how we would handle the situation. And then my parents were just a few blocks away, and, you know, were available to mediate if any situations came about that we felt that we couldn't handle on our own, you know. And then because of that situation, when I left, and then Grandma had to give up her house, she was able to move in with Jasmine and them and have somewhere to stay and be at peace. And she didn't have to worry about paying mortgage or anything like that because they took care of everything for her. And she could just sit down and watch Perry Mason all day. Like, those are the things that we should be doing for our, parents and grandparents. We should be making their lives easier. Like, I just met this lady on the train. She's 61 years old. Now, she doesn't have any children, but however, she's 61 years old and she told me she works 2 jobs. And I was like, ooh, like that made me cringe. Like, I'm 41 and I don't want to work nobody's job. I don't want to punch nobody's time clock. But just imagine, she's 61. She says she's going to be 62 next year and she's working. She says she won't be able to retire for 5 more years. Now, she lives in a house with her siblings, but they all get Social Security. But the way she was describing the situation was, even though they live together, they not helping each other. She said they was arguing about money. And I'm sitting there like, really, lady? Like, I don't understand this. Like, you should not be working, first of all. You should be chilling at home, relaxing, and you guys should have some type of, common ground where y'all are working together. But it's like, even still that they're in the house together, it's still every man for himself. So now she was upset. She said her sister was upset. Her brother is sick and he needs somebody to take care of him. But they arguing, and I'm like, this doesn't even make any sense. And yes, she was a black woman. And I'm just like, wow. And it really made me just really think about this. Like, what are we doing and why or how have we gotten this far off? And what can we do to make it better? Because I'm a firm believer that anything is possible if you work hard at it. So I don't want to say that we're so far gone that we can't bring it back. But I do believe that it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of discussions, and it's going to take a lot of people to put their pride aside and say, look, I have a need, you have a need. Now, I have these resources, you have those. Now, let's put these 2 things together and let's make something happen. Let's make something happen greater than what we're already doing, because it makes no sense for us to keep struggling by ourselves when we can get help and help each other and make our lives easier and make it much, much better. So I'm urging all of us to do better. And like I said, I tell you guys all the time, I'm an open door. If I can help, I can. If I can get you some help or send you to somebody, resources, even though I'm on the East Coast now, I still have a lot of contacts in California and a lot of people that still send me information and let me know I'm doing this, that, and the other. And, they're looking for people. Like, my sister is in Vegas and she's looking for somebody to partner with her on a franchise, for Subway or Starbucks or one of those things. So she's searching for somebody. If I was, there to help her get that done, then I would, be more, apt to do so. But I'm helping her try to find somebody and information to get that done. That's my part. So it doesn't mean that I could say, I can't help Jasmine because I'm 3,000 miles away. No, I'm doing my part with the resources that I do have to help her make that happen for her. And if I was there with her, I would be doing even more, because now I'm right there and I could really get out and beat the streets and help my sister get this done, and even join up. And I still may join up with her. Soon as she decide which one she wants, then we can put our heads together and make that happen. And that's what we need to do. Collectively, as a people, we need to start doing better. We need to understand that it's no fun alone, and that we need to work together and have the same success that we see other people having, and we need to stop complaining and start working. So that's it for today. I'm just like still in shock from this lady's story and other things that I've seen today. It just really bugs me that we are not doing what we should be doing, and we're not doing better, as a whole. So I'm urging everyone that's watching this video, if you know someone in need, or if you are in need, don't be afraid to ask. Don't have too much pride to ask for help. If you believe in prayer, pray about it and ask God to send you to the right people. If you don't believe in prayer, talk to the universe or whatever entity you believe in and ask for help. And don't be afraid and don't feel ashamed, because at some point in all of our lives, we have needed to go and get help from someone. So none of us is above reproach. We're all, one mistake away or one bad instance away from needing help from somebody. So let's not make people feel bad about, their wants and their needs, and let's do better. Let's help each other out. Let's collectively get together. If wherever you are, city, state, if you can get together with some people in your community to help things, get better, do so. If you can help your family members, if you guys can come together and do something, start a business, start homeschooling your kids, whatever that thing is, do it, and let's start working together. So that's all I got for y'all today. Thank you for joining. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. This is your girl T Renee, and I'm out.